Good morning, Year 11. It's Mr. Can here, and today is an incredibly important session in Form Time today. I'm going to take you through some of the really important information you're going to need for your assessment after the Easter holidays. And these are going to provide your teachers with some up-to-date evidence, which we would hope to be able to use towards giving you your teacher assessed grade, or as you can see there, the tags. So if you hear anybody mention tags, that's how your grades are going to be worked out this year. So let's just get thinking about the basics first of all. Obviously, these are the ones that we would expect you at any time to be thinking about, and it's even more important when you come back from the Easter holidays. Obviously, be here on time, equipped, ready to learn, ready to show us what you've learnt, and obviously ready to put some hard work in over the next couple of weeks. Now, part of your pack today that you will have been given by your form tutor will include, first of all, a letter from Mr. Johnson. It's very important that you take a note of this letter, but that you also pass it on to your parents so that they can understand what is going to be happening when you return from the Easter holidays. What you'll also have received is a copy of the whole school Year 11 assessment timetable. So first of all, don't look at that and think it's all of the assessments you're going to have to do. It's not at all. And I'm going to take you through in a moment what we would want you to do this morning with this timetable. Make sure you look after this. This is the only paper copy you're going to get. Although later on this morning, I will be uploading an electronic copy of this to show my homework. So should you need to refer back to that, it will be there for you at any time. So one of the things you're going to do later on, once you've listened to me, is you're going to identify and highlight which assessments you will be completing during the course of this assessment window. It is worth noting that not every subject is on this timetable. So for example, if you do art as a GCSE, then it won't be on here, but you will be doing assessed work in art as part of the tag process. Performing arts is also the same. So if, for example, on the first week back after the holidays, if I was in X band and I'd also opted in option block A to do geography, this is what my timetable would look like, and this is what I would highlight. So I would have combined science physics on the Monday, period 2. On the Tuesday, the 20th of April, period 3, I would have my option A geography assessment number 1. On the Wednesday, I would have my Christian beliefs RE end of unit test in the X band. And then on the Thursday, I would sit my English literature paper 2 section C, and everything else on the timetable that you can see is not relevant to me. If I was in the Y band and I'd also opted to study music in option block C, this is what my timetable would look like. So it's really, really important that after you've heard me speak, you take a moment to very carefully go through this and very carefully identify, first of all, the big subjects in terms of the whole band exams, and then think very carefully about the options that you chose and the options that you're studying and which block they fit into. Okay, so if you've got any questions there, obviously you can ask your form tutor, but it's really important you just take a moment later on to go through this very carefully so you don't miss out on an assessment. You will have seen this slide before, back when we did the assembly for mock exams, just before, well, around November, December time. This is a revision timetable. And as you can see, this person here has planned out very carefully over week A and week B when they're going to be doing their revision, but also more importantly, the times. So they're giving themselves breaks, and also they're giving themselves opportunities to actually have a rest. So for example, this person doesn't do anything on a Saturday, so they might have something on. If there's things that you do, and I know at the moment with lockdown easing that there might not be as much going on, but if there are things you do outside of school, outside of academics, do make sure that you keep those as a priority and make sure you don't stop doing them. Okay, so do have some, obviously have some days off, some rest breaks, etc., to keep yourself, keep yourself going, but keep your well-being as high as possible. Part of your pack will be this. This is a blank revision timetable, and I will also add a copy of this to show my homework alongside the overall revision timetable that you've also got a copy of. So it's up to you to kind of identify when you plan to do your revision and what days you're going to do which subjects, etc. So do take a moment when you get home to think about this and try and stick to it as best as you can. Obviously, we want you to be as successful as possible in these tag assessment. We really want you to give your teachers the best evidence possible. So do make sure that you continue to complete any and all homework that you're set and any revision that you know you need to be doing in preparation for these assessments. When you are revising, make sure it's active. You will have been shown many, many different techniques over the years. So there are just a couple of examples here, such as mind maps or flashcards. There's a whole range of other active techniques that I'm sure you know about or could research. Don't just read your notes over and over and over again. You will not be taking in as much as you think you are. It's also important to kind of identify where you still have areas to develop in your learning and how you could tackle this. So it could be asking a friend. This is into number 4, who to ask for help. Could be a friend, could be your teacher, could be somebody at home who knows the subject. If you've got an older brother or sister who's done the GCSEs recently, they may be able to help you. Now, this is you as a year group back in October when you sat your WAVE exams. And obviously you were in this sports hall as well for your mock exams back in December. The tag assessments, the ones that you're going to sit after Easter, are very different. You're not going to be in the sports hall. I'm sure you know this already. You're going to be sitting these assessments in the classroom as per the timetable you've got. So do make sure that you arrive to those sessions on time, ready to maximize the time you've got in those assessments. Now, in terms of the equipment you're going to need, it's essential, and I've been saying this to my year 11 groups that I teach, I want you to choose to advantage yourself, okay? Choose to advantage yourself. And part of that is making sure that you are ready for the assessments you are going to sit. So you have working pens, you have a pencil, a sharpener, a rubber, a good quality transparent ruler. So this one in the picture would not be actually a great one. So if you have to draw lines of best fit, for example, in science, a transparent ruler is the best way. Have a calculator that works and that you know how to work. So don't be having to do a standard form question and not know how to do standard form on the calculator you've got, and then highlighters as well to help you pull out the important bits of information from the question. Now, as always, we'd ask you to make sure that mobile phones and headphones are not a distraction. So please ensure, as per the school rules, that these are off in your bags and headphones are off and in your bags as well. Okay, so just make sure that this is not a distraction. We obviously want you, again, to be advantaging yourself. In terms of responsibilities, we as the staff have a responsibility, you as students have a responsibility. It's up to us to make sure that everything's arranged, that the papers are ready, that all things are working well, that we have the best atmosphere possible in the classroom for you to be able to do your absolute best. But you equally have responsibilities as well. You must make sure that you know where you will have a lesson. So some of you will have the same subject in a couple of different rooms. Do make sure you know which room you're going to. Clearly make sure you're on time, especially if you have an assessment period 3 or period 5. Do make sure that you're coming straight in from your break or your lunch and that you're not wasting valuable minutes and also disrupting others as well if you are late to the session. Again, the equipment, the attitude, and working hard. And as best as you can, do not miss that assessment. However, we also understand that there may well be circumstances beyond your control and beyond our control, which mean that you do miss assessments. We don't want you to worry about that. Okay, we'll deal with that on a case-by-case basis, but if you do happen to miss an assessment, it will be fine. We will work with you, we will support you, and we will make sure that you are still able to provide the best amount of evidence for us to give you the right teacher assessed grade. Just a couple of final things from me. You'll be able to find this on the internet anyway if you search it, but GCSE results day this year is earlier than normal. You will get information nearer the time about the actual process and how it's going to run, and this is also mentioned in Mr. Johnson's letter, but do make a note and make sure your parents make a note of this date, Thursday the 12th of August 2021. So that's when you'll be able to get your results, sign up to sixth form, and then you'll have a couple, have a slightly longer summer holiday then at the other end before you start your year 12 studies. And the final thing really before we go into you taking some time to look at your timetable is this revision tips video. Mr. Halliday passed this to me recently, and I think now is an absolutely appropriate time to share it with you. Now, it's highly unlikely you're going to get to watch this in form time today. So again, as part of all the things I'm going to put on Show My Homework, this will be part of the post. It will all go together in one post, and I will make sure it stays on Show My Homework throughout the whole duration of this assessment window. So if you need to go back to it at any point, you can do so. The final thing from me is this, and again, I've shared this with you before, but it is such a powerful, important message for me that I think it's an important time to reshare this with you again, okay? Successful people are not gifted. They just work hard, then succeed on purpose. Okay, so you are now going to take some time to look at your Year 11 assessment timetable, identify where you have your assessments, and then you will be clear as you leave form time today, knowing what's coming up in front of you. I hope you have a fantastic Easter break. Do make sure that you are working towards these assessments, but also make sure you take some time to yourself as well. And I will see you soon. Okay, take care.